All right, filmmakers, storytellers, dreamers. Let's get real for a second. So, you've got an undeniable screenplay or a killer movie idea that's burning a hole in your notebook, and you're thinking, do I try and sell this to Hollywood? Do I take a chance and chase the studio millions? Or do I just make it myself? I asked myself the same thing when I was making my first feature film, Dirty Boy. And guess what? I decided to just make it. No Hollywood gatekeepers, no waiting on calls, no development hell. I packaged it, I raised the funds, shot it, and boom, Cannes. That's right, a gala screening. All of that happened literally within a year. I've got no formal film school training. I used no money of my own. It was all just pure, unfiltered grit and determination with a good strategy. So listen, if you're tired of waiting for someone else to tell you that your story matters, well, let's talk about what it takes to make it happen yourself. And by the end of this video, I'll tell you how I can personally help you package and fund your own feature film. Does that sound cool? Let's dive in. So I'm going to be honest with you, I did try Hollywood. I did approach big producers. I pitched them, emailed them, got ghosted, got put on hold, met a few for coffees, then got ghosted again, got put on hold again. A few of them said, well, you know, this project has great promise, it's a great script. Then, I got ghosted again. And I got so tired of approaching the same gatekeepers and hoping that they'd finally see the vision and write me a check to make it. After months and months of this, I thought, no, sod this. I'm doing this myself. So the biggest decision I made was to go all in. There was no backing down, no giving up, no waiting for Hollywood's stamp of approval anymore. I realized nobody was coming to help me. So I decided to just take control, package and finance the whole thing myself. Yeah, it was terrifying, but it was also quite freeing. And once I'd made that decision, I wasn't chasing anyone's approval. I was just chasing funding. Now, here's where things get interesting and exciting. Most people think if you just have a great screenplay, investors will read the screenplay, they will see what a great story you've dreamt up, and I'm sure you have, and they'll hand over the investment. Wrong. See, at this point in time, you don't have an investment. You just have a lovely story on 90 pages of paper, and that's great. If you've got a truly great script, brilliant, because you now have great power in your hands. But you now need to create the full package. So let's talk packaging and pitch decks, because Dirty Boy would never have got funded without these elements in place. See, your pitch deck is like your project's resume. And this is the document where your package sits, ready for investors to ogle all the fantastic elements you're putting in place around your screenplay. See, every time I sent my deck out, I made sure that it was polished. And every time I added a new element as I secured them. Well, first it was just the screenplay, and then some great concept art, lovely. And you might secure actors this way, which is a great step in the right direction. But when you secure these actors' commitments, those actors then go into your deck. And each time someone new opened that deck, they'd see a piece of the puzzle already in place. And each time I approached someone new, they'd say, wow, so-and-so is already attached. You've negotiated these amazing locations. Oh, that composer is on board. Wow, that's a link to his music. Well, this is looking solid. So by the time I reached out to financiers, the project was practically ready to go. All it needed was their investment. This is your hook. Keep it short, sweet, and undeniable. Give investors an idea of who they're rooting for and the world they live in. Show them what the film will look like. I'll make another video about how to create great concept art. Do you have actors on board? List them here. List their glorious credits. Every attachment is another reason for your investors to say yes. The budget can be fairly rough numbers at this point, just enough to show that you're serious and you know what you're doing. It's not hard to get a young line producer to help you draw a budget up. Here's where you show the investors what they'll get back for what they put in. Simple. Every time I got someone on board, it added value. By the time the deck hit the hands of serious investors, they saw Dirty Boy as a legitimate business project, not a risky idea. So how do you get actors, producers and other talent attached when you're not a known name? Well, the simple answer is hustle and the power of a well-packaged project. I approach actors directly or through their agents with a pitch that wasn't only the screenplay, it was about the entire vision. I showed the early version of the pitch deck to the talent, the one investors had yet to see. I sold the actors on the story, the experience, the vision, and most importantly, I believed so strongly in the project's potential and that kind of energy, it transmits, doesn't it? It's contagious. So actors and producers came on board because they saw my commitment and the pitch deck, and the fact that this wasn't some half-baked idea, this was already a film. But here's the biggest lesson I learned from Dirty Boy, and one which I've taken into my new project, which now has an A-list actor, an A-list director, and a very experienced Hollywood producer attached. The lesson is, a very good screenplay that is very well packaged is irresistible to talent and investors alike. And when I say packaged, I mean every component of the project is solid. So by the time I was meeting financiers, Dirty Boy was more than just a screenplay. It was a pitch for a completed movie just waiting to happen. When you show up with this level of preparation, you're not just pitching a story, you're pitching a product. And investors saw Dirty Boy as a safe bet because I gave them no reason to doubt it. So here's the game changer. The moment you fully commit to making it yourself, the opportunities start coming. It sounds crazy, but the second I went all in, things started aligning. That's not to say it was easy, but that full commitment is powerful, isn't it? And people started to see my passion and my determination, and it became a movement. Dirty Boy got funded, and within a year, I had made the movie and was watching it in a packed cinema during the Cannes Film Festival. It's mind-blowing. So when you believe in your story, and when you package it like a pro, when you create an undeniable package, and when you're willing to do whatever it takes, the funding follows. Investors back people who believe in what they're doing and who have the resilience to properly present their investment. Let's be real for a minute. You know, Hollywood isn't dying to greenlight every indie story that comes their way. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They want safe bets. And if you want to make something that's truly unique, something you believe in deeply, then you may be better off going the DIY route. I tried to go the traditional route. I pitched it to Hollywood and the response was lukewarm at best. They didn't get the vision. It's a weird story, it wasn't for them. But you know what? I didn't need their permission to make my film. Once I committed to making it myself, Dirty Boy became a reality. And that's what I want for every filmmaker out there who's wondering if their project will ever see the light of day. So if you're sitting on a great screenplay, or even just a killer idea, and you're ready to package it, pitch it, and make it happen, then let's do this. I created my mentorship programs specifically to help writers and filmmakers take control of their projects, just like I did with Dirty Boy. I'll guide you through building a killer, undeniable pitch deck. I'll give you tips on how to approach talent to attach to your package, and then I'll give you my insights and secrets on how and where to find investors who believe in your story. So, if you're tired of waiting for Hollywood's approval and you're ready to go all in and get your film made, hit the link below. Let's make your project happen. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on independent filmmaking and storytelling. And don't forget, your story deserves to be told. See you next time.